This video tutorial will introduce you to the Cosmobiology module within Planet Dance. You'll find the module in the horoscope menu, the extra sub-menu, and then Cosmobiology. This module is inspired by the work of Reinhold Eberton, the great German astrologer of the 20th century, who worked extensively with midpoints. The main window of the module is shown in the format of the cosmogram, which was Eberton's way of showing the horoscope in a format that made it easy to work with his methods. The cosmogram shows the natal chart on the inner wheel, and it is aligned with the solstices at the top and bottom of the chart. This was because Eberton placed great importance on the quarters, the seasonal quarters of the year. The central wheel, the natal chart, is shown without houses, which didn't feature in Eberton's cosmobiology approach, but you'll see all the other points are placed in the wheel. This is Donald Trump's chart, the ascendant there, right at the end of Leo, Mars, Pluto, Venus, and so on. The middle wheel is the natal chart reset according to the 9-degree wheel. So this is effectively a fourth harmonic representation of the natal chart. The first third, from 0 through to 30, are the planets that are placed in cardinal signs, so that you can see Neptune natally at 551 Libra appears at 551 in the cardinal section of the middle wheel. The second third, from 30 through 60, are the fixed sign placements, and the final third, from 60 through to 90, are the mutable placements. The outer wheel is used to display transits and directions or progressions. So by default the wheel, the cosmogram, will open showing the solar arc placements for the current day. You can show a variety of information about the chart using the menu options. So you have a range of scopes. You can present the natal chart in a scope format. You can show the 90-degree chart, which is effectively the same as the middle wheel, but in a vertical format. You'll see the positions here mirror those in the planets in the cardinal placements. You have cardinal, fixed, and mutable positions identified there. You can also show declination. So this is the declination scope. You can see that Trump has a couple of placements out of bounds, Mercury and Pluto specifically, and they're in northerly declination. And you can show the Antisya for Trump as well. You have the natal chart on the left and the antisia positions, or the mirror positions, on the right. These are the positions reflected in the solstice axis, Cancer, Capricorn. So for example, you here have the moon at 21:12 of Sagittarius, and you can check that the antisia position is 8:48 of Capricorn. So that is the position of the moon reflected in the solstice axis from Sagittarius to Capricorn. There are graphs. These show, for example, the element balance, with Trump showing a preponderance of planets in fire and air, and a small number of planets in earth and water. This module includes exploration of the cosmopsychological types that Eberton developed. This is a form of temperament analysis, and have a look at these for any of the charts you're interested in. There's a summary chart here, cosmopsychological types summary, which shows the balance of these four types, if you like. Above the line here is extroversion, below the line is introversion, and Eberton subdivided the introversion and extroversion axis into inhibited and uninhibited. You can see that primarily Trump shows as an extroverted type, with a weighted emphasis there on the inhibited and a lesser emphasis on uninhibited. There's small emphasis on the introversion here, and nothing in this form of inhibited introversion. You can show midpoint sorts to help and analyze the midpoints of the chart, of the midpoint placements. So you have a planetary midpoint sort, starting with the sun and the moon and ending with the ascendant and midheaven, and then you can find a particular midpoint of interest. An interesting one for Trump is the Jupiter Neptune midpoint, which would fall in Libra, and you can find it here, Jupiter Neptune at 1139 of Libra. You can also do a 360 degree midpoint sort, so this will place all the midpoints in zodiacal order, and you can cross-reference to 1139 Libra and find Jupiter Neptune there. You can also do a 90 degree midpoint sort, which presents the same data but sorted according to cardinal, fixed and mutable positions. And again, if you go to 1139 of cardinal, you can find the Jupiter Neptune midpoint. Lastly, there's a 45 degree midpoint sort. This sorts into an eightfold division of the natal chart, and it's divided into three columns: cardinal 0 to 15, cardinal 16 to 29, and then fixed 0 to 15. And the cycle would begin again at that point. If you go to 1139 of cardinals, you find Jupiter Neptune there. There's also what Eberton called the annual diagram, which is a graphic ephemeris. The ephemeris is centered on the date or the reference date. In that case, or in this case, it's the 12th of August 2020, and the pink line here shows the current day, and there's 6 months data pre that date and 6 months of data post that date. The horizontal lines represent the natal positions, and the angled lines show the transiting positions. The information is presented in a 45-degree sort, so this mirrors the 45-degree midpoint sort here and the 45-degree scope here. Lastly, you can work dynamically with this module. So it will open by default showing the current day and the place of birth and the time of birth, but you can easily alter this. So if we have a look at the inauguration day for 2021, that occurs on the 20th of January 2021. You put in the year, the month and the day of interest and calculate, and this will recalculate the positions, in this case for the solar arc, but you can look at transits for that day. Nabod arc, which is a directional approach using the average movement of the sun. 1 degree arcs, so moving all the natal positions 1 degree for each year of life. Mean solar arc, so that's using the average annual motion of the sun over a 90-year period from birth, and you can show the secondary positions here, and you can just flick back and forth between those positions as you are interested. There's also help file, and you can find further information about the module here, and some references which were used to provide the theoretical background for the module. Thanks for viewing this video about the Cosmobiology module within Planet Dance.